let me kick it off with an exciting announcement in the world of Dave's phone. I got a new one.
Wow, what is that?
I got the 14 Pro Max because I looked at my billing and they said I only had 2 payments left. So I paid off my other phone, which I still have, and they said you have 30 days to return it and get $1,000 credit. So this will end up being a $200 phone, and my bill will only be $65 a month. So I was just in there trying to get a better deal, and the guy said, you already have a good deal. Just pay off your phone, and you can get the new one. And I've wanted it because I've really wanted to play with the camera. You know me.
Right.
And I've just been like, man, I'm still on the 12. I feel like such a loser.
Dog, I had the 10 for like 5 years, okay?
Yeah, you keep it clean, though.
I try to run my phone into the ground, but dude, Davey Bundles out here just getting $1,000 rebate like it's nothing.
The key is I got to transfer all my data in the next 30 days. I'm going to probably do it tomorrow. And this screen protector has saved my butt. There's like 3 or 4 cracks and scratches, but it's all the screen protector. So it did its job. Thank you.
Yeah, mine's in rough shape, dude. That's cool.
So that was my big outing to the mall yesterday. It was huge. That was my big event of the weekend. How about you?
Isn't it so funny? Every time you go back to the mall in your hometown, you're like, where the hell did this go? Why the hell is this here? Who are these people? Everything is just so different.
Everything is different, dude. I don't even when you come back, I know you already probably saw some of it the last time you were here, but when you come back, we can both be traumatized together. Like, wait, it was just right there, and now it's gone. My childhood, everything I know, shaken at its core. But we've been talking about this, like not talking to each other because Q&A episode, and I got a good question. I'm excited for us to answer it live. I got one good voice. I reached out, and look, we're not knocking any audience members or people we reached out to. We know you're all busy. We're busy too, so. If you get it in late, we'll just save it for the next round.
Simple.
Yeah.
And it's just five away after this one. But, dude, we got just over here that I have prepared for us, like 10 to 12 questions. So I'm pretty pumped. Yes. And, again, I try not to really listen to them while I edit them and get them ready for air.
And by the way, if you're editing things, you kind of got to listen to some of it.
Yeah, you're kind of just like, while it's playing, you're like, la, 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 just not trying to hear it, you know?
Yeah, we want to give y'all a natural, real reaction and a real answer.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, before we dive in, let me tell you about my latest toy haul, my toy hunt that I just had.
I saw your video, and that place is massive.
Oh, it was so overwhelming, dude. And you know what's so interesting? Even one of the questions we have on here comes from a fellow collector.
Nice.
So we're starting to find them too, which feels really cool because you can't just take this program, love that word. Yeah. You can't just take this program, this podcast, and you can't just like put it in a corner of like what exactly it is. Like, it's not just collectibles or basketball or wrestling, but it could be on any specific show.
Nobody puts
that's
baby
why
in
this
a
is
corner.
so much fun.
Nobody puts baby in a corner. We just have, I think, too many random things we're interested in, so that helps.
Absolutely. So I go, okay, can I give you the real story behind this reel here?
Let's hear it.
So I had filmed this like several months ago, right? And I go in there and I'm like, golly, everything is just so pricey. And if I'm going to spend money on it, I want to love it. Like, I'm not going to do it just for the sake of content, right?
And you're always looking for a deal no matter what.
Yeah. Yep. And that brings me to another point, and remind me to touch on that on the back end of this. So I had filmed that, and I was like, damn, I didn't really love anything, but the store's super cool. I still would love to have a piece of content. So I'm going to admit, right here on Hangin' with Homie, I faked the funk, bro.
Oh, what do you mean? What did you fake, dude?
So I completed the whole reel.
Okay.
And I didn't actually purchase anything. I just dug into my own old collection of in the toy box, in the closet.
All right, you remixed the reel. Look, when you have as much stuff as you do, I don't really blame you.
Yeah, well, and I was like, no, it's I just didn't feel good about it. So I never actually posted it. It just sat in my drafts, right?
Okay, fair.
And I had gone back a couple of other times, and I was like, there's nothing here that I love, but I got this great video in this like VO done where I just have to update the end, and I get a great piece of content.
I just imagine you walking in being like, I don't love it. I don't love it. And then
If
just
you don't
walking
love
out.
it, leave it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, golly. And then the previous time I went, they wouldn't haggle with me. And I'm like, come on.
What is
You know,
this business?
like-
That's the whole reason I come in here. I want to go back and forth. Come on, let's mix it up.
Exactly. And I'm sure some of the prices are super high because it's such a huge building. So I can only imagine the rent and the overhead and the staff and the electricity,
Good
like
points.
all that jazz.
Good points.
You know? But I go in this time. I'm like, I'm going to give it one more shot. If not, I'm just posting the fake funk. I don't even care.
Damn.
Right? And I go in, and they have this exclusive WWE Ultimate Edition duo box set, right?
You can't
Of
resist,
Hulk
can
Hogan.
you?
No, as Rip from No Holds Barred.
Damn, that's
Sorry,
a
that
deep.
was my Vince McMahon.
That's a deep cut for a lot of people. That's a deep
Yeah.
cut.
And Zeus, the all-powerful
Yo.
Zeus, or some of our audience might know him as Debo. Hey, I'm going to tuck mine in.
I better tuck mine in.
So I go in there and I see it, and I had just grabbed a few other figures, like a Tony Romo McFarlane college figure. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Romo's my all-time guy. Like, I'm going to get that. And then I scored this like cheap elite Mae Young because God bless Bubba Ray put that woman
Man.
through some damn tables, bro.
She could take a whooping.
Yeah, and then I got this this Turtles figure like from the film, and dude, it's like it walked off the screen. It looks so good.
Yeah, when I watched it, that was the most realistic toy I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and I haven't really dove into that route yet. I kind of, with my turtle stuff, I keep it mostly to Raph. He's my guy, and then it's like, okay, well that's 1/4 of the cost. I don't got to get all 4 of the turtles and then all of the bad guys, and then you're like, I'm in debt, Dave. You got $5 I can borrow for gas,
All I got is $5.
Oh my gosh, $5, man. And I see it, and they're asking for $120. And this brings me to the point that I wanted to get to on the tail end of this. And that is nobody cares who you are until they think you're somebody.
Ah, okay.
Okay? I happened to wear my I Heart jacket because it was raining into the store, right? Immediately they're willing to haggle with me because they see that I'm wearing that jacket. I assume I'm wearing that jacket. I got my camera out. I'm doing the whole thing, right? He's like, well, the best I can do is 110. It was at 120. I was like, I didn't know I could haggle. I've been turned down every time since, right? And so finally I go, well, look, I got those other 3 figures back there for me as well. And he goes, all right, tell you what, since you're getting these 3, I'll knock it down to 100. These things are going on eBay upwards of 150, 200, it's nuts.
So 100 for 4?
$100 for the Hogan and the Zeus.
Oh, for the double set. Okay.
And then for the other things, whatever prices those were, right? And so I ended up spending like $160 total. Got a great piece of content out of it. It's exploding right now on Reels, which is good, but bad because Reels isn't paying us anymore, which kind of sucks.
Oh,
But all in all, the moral of the story was patience is a virtue, especially when it comes to collecting. The hell? I'm knocking shit over over here, Dave. Sorry.
You got to save. All right, so you saved $20 bonus. You got content bonus. Reels isn't paying, not a bonus, but
Yeah.
The reach. I just think if you're gonna be a collector of anything, why not make valuable content out of the thing you're gonna buy? Otherwise, you're just a regular shopper. But it's part of the brand.
Yeah, it's like, I could spend this money just to fulfill this within myself, which is partially what I do. But I'm like, no, if I can, and I'm doing it right from my iPhone, dude. So it's like I'm not carrying around like a camera or nothing.
Oh, you mean like this iPhone?
Yeah, your new one, And it's like if I'm going to do it, And this has always been my belief. If you're going to do something or say something, say it as loud as you possibly can and in as many places as you can. So it's like I could do it just for me, or I could do it for, the viewers of our show as well. And man, I love doing that kind of stuff. So anyhow, enough of that stuff. What do you say we dive into the questions?
Let's get it. I'm excited.
All right. Our first question comes from our buddy Jeremy back in Auburn, Maine, a.k.a. VJ Pulse.
Oh.
Here we go.
Hey JR, it's Jeremy, your old buddy up in Maine, aka VJ Pulse. Hey, so I used to own that nightclub, Sapphire Nightclub and Event Center up in Auburn, and we used to throw some pretty major parties up in that way. From paint parties, foam parties, combination of those parties, blacklight parties, literally any type of party we could throw, we threw them. So I got a couple of questions for you. One, which one of those parties was the most memorable for you and why? And number two, how did you get so comfortable on the microphone to be able to stand up on the stage in front of thousands and absolutely control the dance floor? Can't wait to hear back from you.
Well, that's really kind of him to say.
Nice.
I'll answer the second part first. It's because I get to be a character on stage. It's the same thing as when I'm on the air, I get to be somebody that I think is cool. JR I've always thought was pretty damn cool. Jeff I always thought was kind of a nerd, kind of a loser. But you get that hybrid mix nowadays as you get a little bit older and you kind of find yourself. But early on in those Sapphire days, dude, I was just being a character. I was being your favorite homie JR. It was a mask that I wore, and that's how I was able to seem so confident. But the moment that I had to talk to a person one-on-one, it was like,
Well,
couldn't do
don't
it.
you think part of it too is, hey, I'm getting paid to entertain, so I need to do a good job. And so part of that's the urgency. I don't even have a choice. I have to be outgoing. And on this, I know the thing we talked about a lot through like the first 10 episodes was, this is a new format for you. You're not being a character. You're being yourself.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it's very different, I guess is the word that I'm trying to find. It's super different, but I'll tell you, just doing this with you, I'm, getting more and more confident in who I am. And I think that's kind of making me a little happier, rather than having to try to pretend all the time.
You're not just always Spider-Man. You can be Peter Parker too.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay to be PETA.
I'm just,
Right?
just Pete. You know what? Just Pete.
And as far as like most memorable Sapphire event and why, I think you could chime in on this too, because you went to damn near all of them with me in some capacity.
Yeah, I was trying to make cash, whether it was working with you or doing photography for the event. The one that was the coolest for me is when we were getting footage on the Shut Up and Party tour, and I had this wide angle, like 8mm video of you like behind your head, and you're DJing, you're jumping up and down, and you like spin around, and you kept saying my favorite phrase of yours. It's so eloquent. It's so brilliant, everybody. Like, I wish it was copywritten, but you would just scream out multiple times, "This is a party!" And people would get so hype when you said that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it is. They all look around, but there was like a JR chant going. I'm pretty sure it was one of the paint parties. I'm pretty sure that was whatever one that was the most hype that he had up there. It was packed.
Yeah, that was insanity, dude. I definitely remember that one. That was the same night where I tried to shoot a confetti cannon at the lens of the camera.
Bro.
And I think the sheer force of it caught you right in the eye.
Dude, the air impact hit me so hard in the eye. I thought you like something actually shot out, but it was just the air.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, whoa. I was like, wait, what just happened? I looked at the lens, it was fine. I was like, I'm fine. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
You watch where you're
for a
aiming
second,
that thing.
yeah. You were hurting for certain. You're like at the lens, and just the sheer force of the it took you out for a
We had
minute.
all the gimmicks. I think the one thing you always did that set you apart from a lot of the DJs, I think it was especially easy in Maine because it just was. We'd go to Party City, we'd get the confetti cannons, silly string if we could find it, paint if we could find it, whatever we could find, we would get it. So you had not only the music transition gimmicks, but you had the foggers. I mean, everything you could think of. You pulled out all the stops, and that routine worked every school that would allow it. Sapphire multiple times. Like, I think people like miss the magic of you can add more things to your show. You're not just a selector.
Right. It's more, it's always been a lot more to me than just playing music and just like doing it for the check. All right, I'm going to mix from this song to this song. It's like, no, how can I really make these people lose their, you know what I mean? Like, how can I take it from, and I think I said this in a sit down with you a long time ago when we filmed that Shut Up and Party series. I said, Dave, how can I take this from just being a party and, you know, everybody's kind of having fun and a good time to being like, holy I'm never going to forget that night. And that's what I aimed for every time.
It's especially hard with like kids who are that age, like 18 to your early 20s, and at the time we were approaching 30. We don't know what's cool anymore. So the fact that you could keep up with the music, like, salute to you. But not just that, like having the gimmicks not be corny, that's hard to do.
Well, just having them kind of add to what you were doing. It's like, it's something that DJs are often taught, at least I kind of was early on indirectly because I didn't exactly have a coach. But one of the things that I kind of picked up on was don't use effects until you know how to mix first, right? Because then you're just accenting something that you don't know how to do.
Same thing with film.
It's like, don't use these gimmicks and these bits and these go-to things that will always take it from a 10 to a 12 unless you can, hold down the fort for the majority of the time. I think that's a good way to put it, having all these gimmicks and these bits without them being corny and having them just add on to it. But I think that paint party, man, some of them were just out of control. But for me, without thinking about it too much, I think the most memorable one for me was sadly the last one I ever did there.
Man, I don't know. I don't think I was there.
No, I don't believe you were. No, as a matter of fact, you were, because you were filming people outside saying goodbye to me.
Oh, that's right, dude.
Yeah.
We made the trip up. I do remember now. I had the Steadicam.
Yeah, it was the marketed as JR's moving away party, and it was like, dude, it was super sad because we had like built up like a really good following there of like some really loyal homies, and when Jeremy finally calls me up onto stage, and we're going on and on because I love this stuff, so forgive me. And I finally got to like say goodbye, because when I left the radio station in Maine, I didn't have that opportunity to.
We
but the
tried.
people still rode. Yeah.
Sidebar: we tried. I mean, because, and this is just a tip of the cap to your following at the time, which was much bigger than the whole radio station, by the way. As soon as word got out that you were like, "Hey, so I'm leaving. I want to say goodbye to the audience," and we had a whole plan for like every day you were gonna go in, and they nipped that in the bud like real quick. And we did a YouTube, but it was cool. But the sidebar, we'll tell that full story another day.
Yeah, because we got the immediate reaction footage, the crazy phone call I got. Like there's some pretty cool stuff there. But I remember Jeremy calls me up, and I say, I've never gotten to say goodbye before, and I finally get a chance to do that, and I just like legitimately, as corny as it might sound, from the bottom of my heart, thanked everybody for just rocking with us for all this time. Through not just at the events at Sapphire, but any and all of them I would do, from the other clubs to the schools to the roller rink. That was insanity, dude. Dave. We put nearly 800 people in that roller rink. It's the most they've ever had in there since the 70s.
Bro, you revived Happy Wheels as long as you could. that was you even had me out there skating, so that's saying something.
Right. Yeah, but the most memorable one to me was the last one, because Jeremy gave me that chance to say goodbye. I kept it short. I kept it quick. And I was like, when I say shut up, y'all say in party on 3, shut up, and the whole place, dude. And then I jump around the decks and I hit that song. And that was like, now it's go time, And
most DJs don't have their own song that's
Right.
themed with the tour. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We are marketers, okay? We will
Let's
spin
go,
anything we've got. We will spin it and frame it and make it look way bigger than it is.
Yeah, isn't that the key to everything though? Whether you're a DJ or a promoter at a club, is you make things seem bigger than they are until they are. It's like, how many of those damn T-shirts did we sell?
Oh
like
my
that was
gosh,
crazy,
dude.
crazy.
Sold a
I
lot.
miss that.
Yeah, I know. Flipping mixtapes and T-shirts, filling up shoe boxes with money. Those were the good days, man.
Yeah, man. And people brought cards and gifts, and what was really cool about it is you filmed all these people saying goodbye outside while I was playing.
Got it
I had
forever.
no idea. Yeah, until I went through the clips to edit it all together for a vlog, and I'm like getting teary-eyed. I'm like, oh my God, like people really care about me. And yeah, man, that was freaking dope. That was some damn good time. So Jeremy, thanks a ton for the question. What do you say we dive into number 2?
Let's go. Good memories on that one.
So I know in previous questions I've thrown you some challenges and some curveballs, so we're going to make it easy this time because I love you guys. I'm not going to be mean to you every time. But I also want to really see how this is going to play out and confuse the non-mainers in the room.
Nice.
So if you had to choose between one iconic main treat for the rest of your life that you could have and only one of the two, would you choose a whoopie pie or peanut butter and fluff sandwich? We know they're iconic, so you got to pick one.
An
I
impossible
kind of want
question.
to, yeah, but I kind of want to try to answer this at the same time with you on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Fluff or
whoopie
nutter?
pie. What? Really?
Dude, are you telling me I have to give up fluff and peanut butter? I can't do that.
For the whoopie pie though?
Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. A whoopie pie is a staple dessert of Maine, of anywhere in Maine, okay? But the fluffernutter is unique to Maine. Okay?
Yeah.
You can recreate them both, but nobody calls it a fluffernutter. All right? Nobody can get that down.
Yeah.
Even Massachusetts, they get it a little fast.
Bro, when I lived in Nashville, nobody had any idea what the hell I was talking about. When I said, hey, when y'all were like kids, did you eat peanut butter and fluff? They were like, looked at me like I had 4 heads. What the hell is fluff, you know?
You're like, wait, what? Where am I?
Yeah. But dude, with the whoopie pie, you can get the traditional cream filling or you can get the peanut butter one.
You know, I forgot about that. Damn.
God, that's a game changer.
So, sidebar again, I'm 12 days away from the end of 75 Hard, and you know the first place I'm going is Amato's. And
Amato's,
on the
I
list,
knew it.
On that list is definitely a whoopie pie, and if they have the peanut butter one, you know, your boy's got to get that one.
Dude, those ones, that's always the first choice. It's a different tier. The whoopie pie is at the top of the mountain, but with the peanut butter, it's one step ahead. It's so good.
Man. I'm thinking
I'm so
about
jealous, bro. In 2 weeks,
I'm
2
thinking
weeks, you're just
about
going to have one.
I know. The toughest thing, I was talking to somebody today. They're like, really? Alcohol's not tough? I'm like, no, that's the easiest part. I'm like, and then the working out is getting addicting. It's not being able to have any treats ever is so tough.
Especially when it's like, man, you know, I've really busted my ass today and, you know, put in some serious work. You know, I love to crack a cold beer and have a little of this.
Just
you know?
one donut, bro. It was National Donut Day on the 2nd, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Dog, I tried to, but I came to work, and guess what? We had a ton of donuts dropped off. Not a single crumb left in any of the boxes.
Well, just because when do you get into work, bro?
I don't know, like 2:30.
All right. That's on you, bro. You could have been like, oh, Jeff, you here early? Yeah, you know, just wanted to stop, get some donuts. See you guys.
Bro, I would have even like, you know, if there was a bite left, I would have took it, but there wasn't a single bite left.
Who would leave a bite? What kind of psycho leaves a bite of a donut left?
Yeah, what kind of psycho licks the donuts and then puts them back?
Probably a lot of people. Let's move on. But
you sick bastard.
I'm just saying, yeah, they're out there, bro.
All right, Vicky.
But yeah, now I want a whoopie pie.
That's Vicky Green, and she's got a new job out there, and she's kicking butt and doing her thing.
Let's go.
Yeah, Vicky Green, who's someone that's been rocking with us since literally like 2013.
And is in the world of media.
Yeah.
You're in
Vicky
the club.
is media. Yeah, Vicky mean, ladies and gentlemen.
Vicky is not mean sometimes.
Sometimes she is. All right, our next one comes from a new listener of the show who discovered me through my radio show.
It's the new.
I think his name is Lucas. He goes by LL Loves Toys. Young kid, collector, just like us. So we're starting to find a few collectors here.
Stoked.
Yeah, and he can't be any older than 7 or 8 years old. I told him to talk with his parents and, make the drive down to the DTC. I'll give you a tour of the whole place. He's like, no way, you would really do.
Oh, man, that'd be cool.
Jacked about it, yeah. So this is LL Loves Toys.
Hey, JR. I was listening to Hanging with Homies. I actually learned to love the show. What is your most embarrassing story?
Golly, man.
Oh, man. Where do you want to start, Lucas? Which ones can we say on the show? Let's think about it.
Most embarrassing story.
Wish
I've embarrassed myself so many times.
We got to really think, because I immediately think of the time when we were at Slice Bar upstairs, and I wasn't embarrassed by this, but somebody might be. When I ordered a Bud Heavy, and you were like, "Did you just say her butt was heavy?"
And she's like, "Excuse me."
I was like, Jeff, it's a Budweiser. It's just not a Bud Light. It's a Bud Heavy.
I was like, "All right, dude. Enough about her butt. Are we eating or what are we doing?" Bro, I totally put you on blast. That was so funny.
I can think of some other ones that don't really pertain to a listener of this age, and I'm just gonna leave them for later episodes because they're great stories.
I got one for you.
All right. What do you got?
I remember I was a young homie. I think I was like a preteen, right? And we used to always get together at my mom's friend's house, Carol, and we'd have these big meals like every, few weeks or whatever. And it was lasagna night. Everybody came out, right? And my mom and dad were best friends with this couple, Wayne and Teresa, and they also had a son named Jeff. And we were real close when I was young because we had the same name, right? Matter of fact, I remember if we'd all be in the same place, somebody would yell Jeff, and because that's my dad's name as well, all three of us would come running into the room. But I go, I'm going to prank Jeff, all right? He's going to get up to go get his food, and I'm going to trip him. And in front of everybody, I thought this would be hilarious, right? And so he goes to get up, and I get up off my seat, and I put my plate on the seat, right? I go to trip him. I execute the trip, but then I try to sit down real quick so he doesn't know it was me. Not remembering that I had just put my plate of hot lasagna in my chair, and I sat right down on my lasagna, and then everyone starts laughing at me. The joke was on me. Dude, I like get up, and there's like cheese and
Lasagna
sauce
butt, dude.
Yeah, lasagna butt. That's what everyone started calling me, lasagna butt. And I was embarrassed for trying to embarrass somebody else, and if there was ever karma that existed in this world, it's that one.
Swift justice. That's instant karma for you. Man,
instant, bro.
Most
and
embarrassing.
then, dude, for days, hey, what's up, lasagna butt? Not cool, guys.
No, not cool, bro.
You son of a gun.
Yo, I'm really trying to think of an appropriate embarrassing story. I think I don't get embarrassed by things that easily anymore. So it may be embarrassing to someone, but for me, I'm just like, well, like that was just me being me. Got to move on.
Right. Yep. It's all good.
Yeah. No, I got nothing. Maybe.
Well,
it'll come
you know
to me.
what? I'm sure you have some adult ones that we can talk about at a later time, because I know I certainly do.
Yeah.
I embarrass myself daily. Let me tell you that. All right. Our next one comes from Mr. WWE Fan on Instagram.
Hello, JR. My name is Brendan M. from Chicago, Illinois. My question for you is, with the bloodline imploding, who do you think is going to be the eventual person to take the Universal WWE title off of the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns? Because we know with the bloodline imploding, it's going to happen sometime soon.
Bro.
We got a wrestling question. Let's go.
Yeah, Dave loves him some Roman Reigns. Let me tell you that.
Yo, I'm tired of that, man. Who is it going to be, though? I'm tired of it. What's over 1,000 days? Relax.
Yeah, I sent you that meme that he did of, who was it, Wilt holding up the 100,
Yeah.
the 100, but it said 1,000.
He just crumples it up. Come on.
That was so good. But dude, the way things are shaking out right now, and I was recently talking to you about this, and just how amazing the whole bloodline story has been. It's been just can't miss TV. I'm thinking it could very well be Jey Uso that takes the title off of Roman Reigns.
Fills the void. I like that pick because he's already close to the champ.
Yeah.
He knows how he operates. He probably knows how to take him out.
Yeah, and recently on SmackDown, they pulled off. Dude, they got me hook, line, and fucking sinker, dude. Hook, line, and sinker. So they're doing this whole thing in the ring because Jey Uso just super kicked Roman at the last big show.
I did see that clip. That was crazy.
To protect his brother, and he's like, I'm going to do what you should have done. Just boom, blasts him twice, and it was brilliant, man. So they're out in the ring, and things are getting heated, right? It's Jimmy and Jay on one side, Roman, Solo, and, the council, Paul Heyman, over on the other side. And they're just, verbally going at it. And Roman tells Solo to pick what side he's on, right? And Solo's the enforcer. He's like, he's a bad dude. And he goes, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And the whole crowd, boo, boo. But these two right here, these are my brothers. And the place explodes. So he walks over to their side and turns, and now it's just Roman by himself.
Dude.
And Roman starts like breaking down, and they're like going back at it. Like, it doesn't have to be this way. We're supposed to be family. And so Roman and Jay hug, and everyone's like, oh, okay, like harmony, everything's going to be okay. And then Roman has the mic around him, and he goes, no. And it was just a in the arena. And then Solo takes out Jey Uso and shows that he really is backing Roman Reigns. And I was just like, you bastards got me. So that's why I'm like, Jey has to take him out, That's what I think's going to happen.
Okay, so if that happens, then paint a picture of, does Jey retain the title for a while, or does it then become a toss-up? And because once there's a chink in the armor, everybody's going to try to rush in to get the title.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought it was going to be Cody at Mania, but it wasn't his time. And that that gets a lot of crap from some people, but I thought the match was brilliant the way that it went, and I was completely fine with how everything turned out. And Cody's tearing it up with Brock right now. They're doing great stuff. So, man, WWE's just on fire, dude. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that's what's got me so excited about it.
What are they putting in the coffee over there? That's what I got to find out. The creative juices are flowing.
They really are, dude. They're doing some of their best stuff in like forever. Seriously.
It's getting me interested in wrestling again. So this is like we said, we're outside the book. You can't put us in a corner. We will talk about everything, especially on Q&A. We're all over the place. We're here. Yeah. We're there. Here's the world. All over the world.
Floor wax. Rising.
Rising. Is he still?
Bro, I told you I asked the Sklar's about him.
So great.
That's on an old episode available in the archives. But let's move on to our next one.
Okay.
This is from a longtime listener, not a first-time caller. This is Christina in Kentucky.
Hey, Dave. Hey, JR. It's Christina. I'm just curious. What's your all's biggest pet peeve?
That's easy. People that chew with their mouth open. Are you a cow? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It drives me crazy to the point that Like, if you keep doing it, I will just eat in another room. Like, I just won't eat with you. You'll notice I will stop. Hey, you want to go to lunch? Nah, I'm kind of busy. Hey, I got this thing.
I don't eat lunch anymore. Thank you. No, thank you.
Lunch. I got this thing, What do you mean? You had a thing last week. I had a thing this week. What do you want?
You know what makes it worse is when you're talking to somebody on the phone and they're just eating and they're just, or the bag is rustling and you're like, can we just pick this up later? Or what makes it another layer on top of that, you're sending audio text back and forth. And instead of waiting, they're just talking to you while they're just smacking their gums, dude. Oh, it makes me so mad.
This is why I can't get down with the ASMR, the stuff you're trying to introduce me to that's relaxing.
Right.
It's not relaxing because it just triggers me into thinking about somebody just like smacking their gums. I'm like, yo, you can close your mouth. It is totally possible. I believe in you.
It's like when you hear it, it's almost like that feeling of chewing on tinfoil.
Man, I'd rather just listen to scratch nails on a chalkboard.
Oh gosh, man.
Dude,
I'm with you. That's the worst one. I think another one if I had to choose my own would be people that move goalposts.
Man, preach.
Right? It's, oh, you did this, but you'll never do that, or you did these things, but you'll never do that. And it's like, first off, for somebody to even be a goalpost mover, like something is not going well for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
why is somebody else's success so important to you?
You got too much time on your hands. Why are you worried about me? I don't even know what you're doing.
I don't think about what you're doing,
Well, and the goalpost moving is tough when it's like involved with like a real job too. When it's like, hey, we just set expectations. Like, let's say you're going for a bonus. You have to do X amount of things, close X amount of deals. You do that and they say, well, that's great. But actually these deals, they were only X amount of dollars. And if you think about it, we actually need this much. You're like, okay, so you lied to me or you didn't give me all the information. And it's like, I don't know what this, some kind of power trip. But yeah, goalpost movers and people who are late.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bunch, but let's just stick with those.
Yeah, let's just stick with those two. Christina, thank you. Seriously, I remember meeting Christina at, I think it was the Jake Miller show that I opened in Nashville.
That was a sick show. And
it was super fun.
Who else was there? Was that just Jake Miller or was it what's his Logan someone Henderson? Was he there? Or is that another show?
I think we're mashing up two shows.
Yeah. But the Jake Miller one, that was sick.
Yeah. It was either that one or Party Playhouse Live. I can't remember which one, but yeah, they were listening to Hot like from Kentucky, which was like, geez, that's
super
cool,
fans.
So.
Shout out. That's mad cool.
Yeah. So our next one comes from a friend that we've had for decades. First time that he's ever sent in any audio for the show.
Yes, he came through.
Yeah, and he's going by a different name here.
Hey, this is Lou from Lyman, and my question is to you and Dave, what Looney Tunes character do you most identify with, and why do you identify with that Looney Tune? Also, Dave, please ask JR about his feelings about the mom from Home Improvement.
All right, well, let's start there. What are your feelings for the mom from Home Improvement?
If you could just put like the heart eye emoji over my face right now, dude, because seriously, once I started rewatching that show as an adult, I'm like, Jill, that's the perfect wife. That's like, she's the all-time like sitcom wife that I'm like, she would be my top pick out of any other sitcom mom.
Wow.
She's just drop dead gorgeous. She's a good mom. She's loving. She's handy, and she's so funny. And dude, oh my gosh, I had the biggest crush on her, like rewatching the show as an adult. And I'm like, Tim Allen.
Yeah, why was he always doing like the Loki Scooby-Doo noise?
It was the best because he was a man and men worked with their hands.
Yeah.
He was the best.
Tool time.
So before we dive into the Looney Tunes part, what's a sitcom mom that you would pick?
Man, that's a tough one. Let's see. Thinking back through my sitcoms.
You know, you got Married with Children. You got, I guess there wasn't a mom in Full House, but Aunt Becky was,
Aunt Becky.
yeah.
I mean, she had kids. She's a mom.
Yeah,
Aunt Becky.
technically.
I mean, she had the whole thing with like the SATs and stuff recently, but that's real life. We're talking about the show, so
Right.
I mean, Aunt Becky would have to be the obvious.
Yeah, dude. Man.
Good time, dude. TGIF. Some of y'all have never had TV and never like will, but on Friday night on ABC, I think it was just like Family Matters, Step by Step, Full House, every single show, all the best shows.
And every Friday night was can't miss TV. Like you literally planned your entire day around it.
Yeah. You're like, can we stay up late? I just want to see the next 30-minute sitcom and then the next one.
Yeah, because it was so cool because they would do ads and they would like cross-pollinate shows. And I remember one specifically when they would do their 3D nights and everybody had to go get the 3D glasses out of this specific box of cereal and like everywhere was sold out. And I may have told you this before, but I was with our pal Keith and his mom Dawn, and she drove us around to every store to try to find these glasses. We couldn't find, they were just sold out everywhere. They must have sold millions of boxes of cereal to get these glasses. So she brought us to Party City and made glasses for us.
Wow, Don, that's legit.
That's like mom of the year right there.
Come on, we're talking about moms.
Clap it up for Dawn one
there,
time.
Don. Here we go.
Yeah. So it was can't miss. As far as Looney Tunes, man, gosh, I love Bugs, but I'd probably have to say Daffy Duck because I feel like he never gets the respect he deserves. Let's all diss the duck. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. Just think of this Space Jam. Like, we all want to be as clever as Bugs, but oftentimes I feel like Wile E. Coyote. Yeah. I can't say anything, and I'm like, well, this is failing terribly again. What a surprise.
Yes. Yeah, it's good, man. So, yeah, big shout out to Lou from Lyman.
Lou,
that's a deep
Bob.
cut.
What's up, guy?
Yeah. And speaking of pals, here's another one. You ready?
Yeah.
I love these shows, dude. They're
This
so
is
fun.
The best.
Gentlemen, what's going on? It's Jake.
Yo!
We've all known each other for about a decade and a half, maybe a little more. And we all have a social media presence. I get about 4,000 followers. Dave's got about 4,000. JR's probably got 1 trillion because he's a world-renowned DJ, your favorite homie. I will never forget when you first started. I loved it. Anyways, big question here from Jake is, Dave and I are hopelessly fucking single. We've got no shot these days.
He ain't lying.
JR, seem to be happy and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I hate you for that. Just kidding. But with social media influence these days, how are we going to have relationships? Back, I'm talking 2005 to 2010, if we had an issue, like, a guy would have to text our girl, have to have her number. These days, I'm sliding in DMs like crazy. Guys are sliding in my girl's DMs whenever I have one or whatnot. But how do we overcome that as men without coming off as toxic masculinity and all that bullshit that's going on today? Like, how do you compete with social media? I think that's a huge shift, especially for our age group. Not that I want to date us, but we're all mid-30s now. I can't even keep up with all the different apps, let alone trying to beat up every guy that's in my girl's DMs. And because I have a following, I get DMs from random girls too that pisses off whatever girl I'm dating at the time. So you guys figure that out.
trying to figure out all that information right there.
He made a really good point. So I got the pleasure of getting to listen to that before I sent it to you. So I've had a little more time to think on it. And he's right. We've never in society had a time where everyone is accessible all the time. Unless your account, I guess, is private, you can send anyone a message and potentially they can open it. I think we have this at least I do. I have this OCD thing about I don't want to see that little red bubble. Like I want to get rid of it. So I want to look at it at least just to get rid of it. And I've absolutely read DMs while I was dating somebody and girls just like reaching out. And I'm just like trying to heat check, see what's up. They want to like, other people want to get involved in your relationship, not necessarily because they want to date you or hook up with you, just because they want to just like mess it up. They just want to
ruin what you have.
Yeah, they just want to see if you'll bite, just because they want to win that little game. And I don't really know how to deal with it other than, hey, if the person you're with is loyal, then don't even worry yourself with it. What are you going to do? You both got Instagram. You both have phones. You just have to trust them at their word, because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with you. It just has to do with their character and what they're going to do. If you feel like you're more tempted and more apt to like fall to temptation, then maybe you have to not use those apps. I don't know. As crazy as it sounds, like, I mean, for me, Instagram's a good way to reach people and let people know, like, business-wise.
Yeah.
But even then, anybody can reach you. So as much as I'd love to throw my phone in the ocean like we've talked about, and I totally do use my Instagram to try to...
Not your new one, though.
Not my new one. I need this one just for a little while. I totally have said this before, but Instagram's my best marketing tool for dating. It's how I flirt and... try to like look attractive and attract somebody that I want to date. And then when I have that person, I don't need it for that. But it's like, how do you trust that other person?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question right there. And the only thing that can build trust is time,
Good point.
Yeah, it's just time. If that stuff is happening right away and you're starting to date someone, it's like, let's, I've seen this movie before. Let's hit the door. You know what I mean? I'm sure my lady gets written all the time. I get messages too. Oftentimes I just, see ya. See ya. I don't even bother to open them. I just delete them.
Well, and that's something you've had to deal with, think about at least. I don't know about dealing with it, but you're seeing someone, dating someone 4 years now. Congrats again. That's amazing. I love it. She's great, by the way. I'm a big fan. It's good. That's a good thing too. If your boy, I'm like, yo, the person you're dating is awesome. Keep that up.
Absolutely.
But she has a big following, and that's obviously something that from time to time I'm sure crosses your mind.
Yeah, and a ton of them are like creepy dudes. Like, that's just the way it is. And it goes back to your point of, even if somebody isn't even genuinely interested, misery loves company. And they just want to ruin whatever you have that's special. That's why for so long, I wouldn't advertise any relationship that I had on social media.
Listen up, ladies. This is important.
Yeah, I remember my previous girlfriend, on and off 7 years. She's like, would get real antsy, like, hey, why don't you talk about us on your Facebook or your Instagram? Or I was like, because somebody's going to come in and they're going to try to split us up and they're going to try to ruin this happiness that we have. And eventually she wore me down. And I did. Lo and fucking behold, Dave, that's when like all the nonsense started, and getting random messages at night from random dudes that are trying to hit her up just because they want to ruin something special because they don't have something special. But the same thing, vice versa for me. It's like all of a sudden, once a guy has a woman in his life that he's passionate about, every girl is all of a sudden interested. It's so weird, dude. So weird.
It really is super weird. And I've gotten comments from a couple of my exes, and nothing mean-spirited, but, oh, I noticed that you don't post anyone on your Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I use it for business, and that's none of someone else's business. Like, y'all are not in this relationship with me, and if you are, it's news to me.
Yeah.
And I think, and the other thing too is like, exes that I've had a good relationship with that are on my Instagram, I haven't deleted anything because that's a part of my past that I'm not hiding. Yeah. Like, I have no problem with that. But at the same time, I don't have a problem if they wanted to delete something. I don't have a problem with that either because it's not my choice.
Yeah, I have to get rid of it all because, dude, I'm like
clean slate.
Yeah, I'm like an emotional roller coaster, dude. When I'm up, I'm up. When I'm down, I'm down. I'm doing my best to keep myself even keel. But that kind of stuff would just say I haven't been with this person for a while. Somebody likes this picture and it comes up and I would just go over the deep end. Like I'm like emotionally nuts sometimes.
I get that, but that's
for better or worse.
Being self-aware of it.
Yeah.
But to try to answer like Jake's question, like, yeah, I don't know. That's an ongoing conversation of what we do about it. I've always made it very clear, like, you can, if I'm dating someone, you can post me all the time. You can post me never. It doesn't matter to me. That's not like, that's up to you. But I will have a conversation with you about it. If I'm going to share something that you're in, I'm going to say, hey, is it all right if I share this? But then I've had one situation where this girl we were dating at the time, who was pretty new, and wanted to, like, that Facebook you can say I'm in a relationship with so-and-so, but it sends you a request. So you still have to like accept it.
Yep.
And this is totally honest. For the first week or two, I wasn't just on Facebook at all checking. And I could tell, I was like, something is getting to her. And I don't know what it is. I haven't done anything wrong. And then finally she's like, won't you accept my status or whatever? I was like, what? I was like, when?
Status?
I'm like, aren't we? You're here right now. We're on the couch watching a movie. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, on Facebook. I was like, why is that important? Is that really important to you? Like, why is it? Because you need to announce it? Like, I don't know. If you're married, I'll put it up there because it's like, hey, cat's out of the bag. We made the plunge.
Yeah, I think that's more important for women than it is for guys. I think we like to be more, I don't know if secretive is necessarily the word, but like what's going on between us is going on between us and it's nobody else's business. Now, you brought up a point about you could post me or you could not. When does it become uncomfortable if one person in the relationship is sharing all of these photos and statuses and checking you in and this and that, but the other person isn't reciprocating it?
Yeah, when does that? I think part of that is your job to learn that person. And I think if you love them to that point, like if you really love them, then you'll want to reciprocate. You'll want to return the favor. But if you're in a relationship with someone that's the most important thing, maybe you're in the relationship with the wrong person. Because if that's like, I've talked to women who have big followings, bigger than mine. Again, I'm a shooter. I don't care. Like, that's just a social media stat. That doesn't tell me anything about who you are as a person.
It's totally just vanity. That's it.
Yeah, it's a vanity metric. So, but it also tells me too, when I start to talk to them, what kind of person they are. Because if they respond, I'm like, oh, you have a big following, and yet we're talking. So at the very least, you're not like avoiding me because I have my 40-something hundred followers, right? It's like, you're not just, oh, get out of here, peasant. Like, leave me be.
Peasant.
But that's happened to me before where I just get left unread because I am just a lowly under 10K person.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I used to always care so much about the follower count and the likes and the engagement and, and then it's like, I don't know, you're almost borrowing trouble because.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, good term.
Yeah, because you can't control. I mean, you can make the best stuff that you can make, but it's like ultimately not even up to you who it goes to. Like, for example, I'm about to crack 70,000 on TikTok, which seems like a pretty big deal, small potatoes compared to my lady, that's for sure, but it's like, but whatever I post, that's not reaching 70,000 people that are having the opportunity to engage. It's like, so it doesn't, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's all vanity. It's all BS. What really matters at the end of the day, Dave, easy for me to say, is what's in here. What's in your heart, you know?
And we definitely do this show for people that, like, we joke every week that Chris and Wade are getting their episode late when we're late.
Yep.
We do it for, like, the few people that we actually talk to and engage with. And we want it to grow, but we want to keep as many personal connections as possible, because I think that's the reason I want to do the show, because you and me aren't getting paid. We don't have to do this. We could just have a chat, you and me, and not share it with anybody.
Yep.
But
that goes back to the, if you're going to say something, get on the tallest mountain and say it as loud as you can, you know?
So Jake, I don't know, bro. I think
there's no clear answer. Like, nobody's navigated these waters before. It's like we're
new.
still just figuring it out, you know?
What you can hope for is have that chat and say, hey, I mean, if you're with somebody and you get to the point where you're with them long enough, however long that needs to be, all right, look, it's you and me.
Yeah.
Like, let's settle this once and for all. In my opinion, would be social media is a tool. It's a vehicle. If it can make you money and if it can help you be prosperous and connect with people, use it. Just there's no need to connect. Like, I found you. I used it for what I needed it for. I don't need to go find someone else.
No. And man, isn't that that's so well said, because that's kind of the whole thing. And you just brought this topic right into my mind, and then it escaped right away. Oh, as much as I could kind of care less sometimes about social media, it's not lost on me that it's a predominant factor of why I've ended up where I am in the broadcasting landscape. Like, I wouldn't say 100%, but it's way up there, dude. Way up there. And, you know, the company I work for really values that, as well as a ton of other media and broadcast companies, you know? So it's an essential part of the game. But, you know, bottom line, if I didn't have to do it for work, I wouldn't have a smartphone, dude. And if I did, it'd be just to, you know, make whatever I want to make for myself.
Yeah. You and me talked about this when we were planning your leap from the queue way back.
Yeah.
And I just knew. I said, dude, use this vlog camera. Like, this is going to be your tool to open the gate, the key to everything. And you took to it. You said, I already do it on my phone. Why can't I do it with my camera?
Yep.
But you used it again. A tool for good.
Yep. Yeah, isn't that so interesting? Because even breaking into broadcasting in like 2014, 2013, it was like Twitter was the absolute jam, and Facebook was just a powerhouse still.
Yep.
And it was, okay, they can hear us do this once live on the air, but then that's the end of it. But what if we capture it? What if they can then listen to it again after the fact? What if they can watch it again after the fact? Mm-hmm. Isn't that going to hit more ear holes and more eyeballs? So that's always kind of been my approach since the beginning. Get on the biggest soapbox you can and say it as loud as you possibly can. And what I mean by that is say it live on air, capture it for film, photograph it,
chop it up. You need
exactly,
to cut it.
So, all right, let's cut over to
good question.
Our next question. But yeah, Jake, that was a banger of a question, dude. And there's no one answer. So hopefully we gave you a little bit of advice there. Our next one comes from our boy Hazard.
Yo, what obscure lyrics stay with you at all times?
Man.
Why does he come in so hot on the mic, dude? He
Bro, hold on,
stays in the booth.
Yo.
It's coming in, dog. Man, what obscure lyric. You know? Gosh, there's so many from just our days of doing music.
Those are the ones I always think of. And I'm always wondering, did one of our guys say that? Or is that an actual lyric from a song on the radio?
Right. I was just listening earlier today to the near complete DNR discography, it's called. And there was a remix from Nick of that I'm a fire flame spitter, which was like dope track years ago. And what were the words he said? I actually texted them to him because I'm like, dude, that was so sick. Let me pull it up for you. So here's one. Here's a couple. Nick said, I spit fire, homie. I'm going to be hot forever. And y'all still sounding like you banging rocks together.
Yo. The caveman line, bro.
Another one. He goes, you never seen no one this fly, so I might seem different. I got my rhyme book in a briefcase, bruh, because I mean business.
Damn, dude. Damn.
And I'll just share one more with you from that same track. I got flow. East Coast, man, Atlantic Ocean. Like someone turned my faucet on and now the handle broken. I was like, bro.
Dude, bars.
Bars, bro.
Before people were saying bars, we actually wrote bars.
Absolutely, dude. And I think about the DNR stuff. And for my money, Nick was top tier. When it came to just like straight out rapper, Nick was top tier. Came out to just straight up writer. It was Hazard, entertainer. Yep. Joe earlier told me it was me. I would never put myself up there. That's not for me to decide. But yeah, and then there's so many Hazard lines, dude. Like
we're always quoting each other on them.
Yeah. You know, what was it? Get jumped on the subway for your Subway because I eat fresh too. Let's go.
Anytime a jingle, I always think of, it's RH and I built the booth. Spit so hard, I think I lost a tooth.
I'm the man. Why I need to spit on this track? Number one founders at the top of the rack. Yeah. Man.
So those, they run, or like, I got my easy pass, and I think you said this line, or I don't know, but it's like,
no, that was a Jay Mills line.
Jay Mills, y'all stuck in the lane, I'm easy passing.
Easy passing, yeah.
So I'm walking in there to get it, and that's the only thing in my head. Like rap lyrics, I just always apply them to life, and they pop up. I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. I didn't even know that was in there.
And that's right. It's a good question because they're so obscure. Is there any that I've done that randomly just like pop up into your mind sometimes?
You know which one always pops up because it was a reference?
I think I know where you're going.
It's like an ad lib. It's like Trip McNeely.
Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, what was it? Something. Feel me because I'm a high school legend. Like I'm Trip McNeely. Yep. I remember that one. I don't even remember what track that was on.
It was that sped up. No matter what you say. It was that one, right?
Ah, yes, that's right.
I remember all the beats.
06. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember all the beats, but I can't remember the raps, dude. And then like Trips and Realness had all the like real gangster rap that.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, when I hear it, I remember it, but I'm like, I can't repeat any of that.
No, certainly not in public.
Dated.
I kind of, you know what line I thought you would pick was, it's JR when I get on the beat, I steady kill him. Now a moment of silence. Shh. Teddy Williams.
Dude, that was a great one.
Because I went into this whole Boston thing.
And you did the y'all dudes Big Poppy, quick to walk off.
Oh.
That's a great one.
What was one of the lines in that one?
What song is that?
That was the Bedrock remix of that first one that I said.
Oh yeah.
The other one was Hoist Your Colors, I think.
That's all we need.
That's all we need.
Dude.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many from Hazard, like randomly.
Yeah.
When it'll pop into my head when he goes, yeah, it's funny because it's underwear. I don't know why, but that line of his always sticks in my head. Or if not, I'll Pokemon and let you catch my Squirtle. It's like, bro, you can't say that.
He's too hot, man. You're too close to my face, man. Too close. Yeah, we did.
So many.
But for anybody listening to this for the first time, like we had a rap label in high school. Like that's what we were up to. We were like writing songs, making beats into college. I mean, dude, that took up like a lot of everybody's time. It was so worth it because we have so many songs just saved.
So many. Yeah, and the word creator wasn't even thrown around back then like it is now. But
ahead of our time. We were ahead of our time.
Yeah, and we're the last of our kind, you know?
Last of a dying breed. Huh.
Ahead of our time and the last of our kind. I think that needs to be a t-shirt available at davismedia.com.
SeanDevine.net.
Whoa.
Dude.
Bro, remember all the tags and all those SoundClick beats, bro?
You were in a hip-hop scene if you can, like, recite SoundClick producer tags.
BTP, y'all.
Man. It's the D-O-double-R.
K-A.
Get vandalized.
Cinema beats.
I mean, dude, there's so many.
So many, dude. There's so many good ones.
That's a hazard. Always opening the can of worms.
Yeah, dude. We'll go down a rabbit hole. But let's move on to our next one. This is Chris, also from Maine. Someone that Dave said is always, hey, where's the show? What's going on here, guys? So
here's a question for you. What is the wrestling figure that got you back into collecting wrestlers as an adult?
Good question.
What's a wrestling figure that got me back into collecting as an adult? Dude, easy answer. I was in a Target, and they had just released this, 30th anniversary Raw 3-pack, and it had the big Raw letters behind it like they used to have for their set. And it was Razor Ramon, The Undertaker, and the 1, 2, 3 Kid.
And what kind of figures were these?
Elites. So they look great, especially Taker. It's like the old school one with the black coat and the gray gloves and the gray straps on the boots and the hat. It looks so sick. Especially with the big Raw letters behind it. I was like, damn. And it was like $65. And one day I was like, you know what? I haven't bought a figure or a collectible in forever.
Damn, 65? I feel like I remember getting the Jack's Bone Crunchers for like $8 at
Right,
KB
$7,
Toys.
$8 a pop, yeah.
Dude, give me the $8 all day.
Yeah. Well, that's the trick is you wait for them to go into clearance.
True.
So yeah, I bought that and I tossed it up on the shelf, right? And I was like, oh, that's a cool piece. It shows, he must be a big time, wrestling fan, duh. But it looked cool on the shelf, and I was like, wow, that's great. And then I had realized that when I was going through all my old Bone Crunchers that I had in box to sell, that there was an Elite Stunning Steve Austin in there from the Hollywood Blondes.
Dude.
Right?
Yes.
With him and Pillman.
My favorite, dude.
And what is it called when they do what is that thing called?
Oh, the clapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, the slate.
The slate. And it comes with that. So it's pretty cool.
Man, okay. Details.
Yeah. In different hands and accessories, all kinds of cool stuff. And I think I went to Music City Toys, which was in Watertown, Tennessee, like a town that just had been left way back in the past. Is really cool. And they had this random wrestling figure shop in there. So I'd go to it every few weeks and made friends with the owner. And while I was going through all those Bone Crunchers, I realized I had that Stunning Steve. And I wasn't like a collector, but I didn't want to leave without buying something. I had drove all the way. It was like an hour plus away.
Sunk costs. So you're like, got to get something out of this.
I got to get something. And then the lady got me that 1995 Hulk Hogan WCW poster in the display case. It's so sick. He's dropping the leg on Flair. It's dope. Yep. So nice. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to open them up. Let them breathe. I'm going to open them up.
Let them breathe.
Started with those 3. I meet this guy out here that's a collector as well. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna open them up and let's see how it all goes.
You won't.
Oh, yeah. Opened up the 3. I put the RAW behind them, and I put the lights on them, and I got to admire it and take some photos, and then I busted out Steve Austin. I was like, wow, this looks cool, and now, dude, I have upwards of 100. So
he's in deep. He's in deep, but it all started with the Raw pack.
Too deep. Yeah, that Raw 30-pack, dude. And
dude,
you don't necessarily
what? I could go for a 30-pack. What?
What? 30-pack of Miller Lite? What? 30-pack of Margarita? What? Yeah. And you don't necessarily collect figures, but what is it that kind of got you into almost what you're like doing for a living now? Because you're kind of like Davey Bundles, aka the Big Flipper.
Big Flipper, hey.
Hey, game over.
When I was in California, my dad would send me like a priority mailbox of postcards. And he's like, hey, if you can sell these, like, let me know how it goes. So I did a few here, did a few there. And then I realized I went to like a Goodwill out there, bought a couple of older baseball action figures, and I flipped them in like 2 days. And I was like, oh, man. And then I went to the dollar store, and I got some dollar items, and I flipped them for like $5 a piece. And I was like, that's $4 profit. I was like, this is working.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely, when I decided I didn't want to live out in Southern California anymore, I just said, I bet I could just do this business full time. Spent a couple months in Alabama, still eBay here, eBay there, little this, little that. It's pocket money. And finally I said, well, the man has a house full of stuff we can sell.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can go to flea markets, and now I've just got all these things. So it wasn't necessarily one thing, but when when you make a sale on eBay, you realize this isn't that complicated.
Right.
This is simple, but it's not easy. Anyone can do this if you just set up a system. So yeah, now, dude, I'm all in. Davey Bundles is in it to win it.
I want a cool nickname like that. Damn it.
You are the nickname, bro. J.I.
J.I. Next to the stage.
Hey, yo. All right, people.
Speaking of Chris, real quick, I promised him, because we got our first listener podcast mail.
Dude, let's go.
From Chris, and I meant to bring it in before we started recording, but it's right outside the door. So
go get it. I'll keep him entertained.
Fill some time.
All right. So, Chris, want to say that's such a cool gesture to send some mail to the show, because we've never had, I haven't given out my address, and I know that you probably sent it to not JR's address, to the station. So we appreciate that. Like, getting some real mail. I was just saying, like, he probably doesn't have either of our actual addresses, but the fact that he found a way to get it to us is super cool.
Yeah, he sent it to iHeart, to my work.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah. And I wanted to show you
what do we got?
What was in here, Bob. So again, big thank you to Chris, because this is like, and he wrote me after, and he goes, I saw all those magazines that Dave got on the last show, and those are so cool.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. So he sent me this from September 1990, WWF the magazine.
Dude.
With Hulk Hogan on the cover, showing off the pythons, bro.
That's legit.
Yep.
So it looks like it's in great condition.
Yeah, like, dude, they have this jacket in here that was for sale. And obviously, if you're, hearing this, on one of your apps and not watching on YouTube, I'll do my best to describe it. But essentially, it's Hulk Hogan wearing a jacket with a picture of him on the back, and it says Hulk Hogan over the... It's like this varsity jacket. It looks so sick,
Meta
dude.
Hogan. I want to find that in the wild now. I must find that.
Dude, if you do, I want first dibs.
All right. I'll give you a discount.
So there's that, and then there's a ton of just these little, like, WWE stickers. Like, we got a random Stone Cold head. We got yes, yes, yes for Daniel Bryan. We got the CM Punk logo.
Dude.
There's Triple H, like Stone Cold Rattlesnake. A ton of cool stuff. And there's even this photo of Conan, K-Dog, from WCW NWO, which was their game. And then there's this, like, I don't know too much about this, but I guess it's from Boom Studios. And it's the 20th anniversary SmackDown Boom Studios #1 comic book.
What? That's cool.
Yeah.
Putting us on to some new stuff we don't know about. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm thinking maybe I want to do another one of those, like, over-the-shoulder videos where I go through the old magazine. I was like, well, this would be a perfect one to do it with, you know?
Yeah, you should. I think people like those.
but I'll make sure for you I do it ASMR style, okay?
Please just don't.
So yeah, that's from Chris. So big thank you to Chris for, like he didn't have to do that. That's really nice of
You're a
him.
real one, dude. And you keep
Yep.
us honest on getting this thing out on time.
Oftentimes it's out of our control, but we're doing our best here.
Yeah, I think we're doing well, especially for it's unpaid. And we just put family first, so anytime it's late, it's because it's a family thing. So I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think that is, come on now.
But we still like it. You can hassle us anytime about the show.
Yeah, it means that the day you stop, it's like, okay, well, we don't have any listeners anymore. This next one is from my friend Brooke back in Maine. It's actually from her little girl, Vivian. Here you go.
Hey JR, it's Vivi. Who was your favorite DJ when you were a kid?
That's Viv.
Aw,
that's
so cute.
like the cutest thing ever, dude.
And what a great question.
Yeah, who was my favorite DJ as a kid? I mean, I think where
it's an obvious answer.
Yeah, I'll go DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
Him and the Fresh Prince, that was the coolest thing. That was when I first was like, wow, his name is first. Like the DJ is important. And I remember the specific album, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. I even wanted to rip that concept off for a mixtape and have a photo of me on the left and a photo of me on the right wearing different outfits. He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, But that's Jazzy Jeff is like a battle, the best to ever do it. I'm not a battle DJ. I'm a club DJ. I'm also a radio DJ.
Yeah.
And the radio DJ that I looked up to the most was obviously Rob Steele.
Steelsy. Which, by the way, I found a Sea Dogs vintage t-shirt and he signed it. It's got to be
Shut
25 years old, dude.
Dude, send me a picture of that I will show him.
Then be like, please, because it's definitely his signature, dude. It's in this box behind me, but it's kind of buried.
That's so cool.
Speaking of Jazzy Jeff, I saw him in Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Not even on purpose. Me and my boys, we walked upstairs. Okay, this is like a movie scene. The doors from the elevator open. And by the way, we're just up there because we're staying at the Palms and it's free. And we're like, cool. They're like, oh, you stay here, you can get in free. We're like, free? Excellent.
What? Yeah.
And the doors open. It's like, this is how we do it. And we're like, all right. And it's a 90s party.
Oh, man.
There was a dude dressed up like Grandpa Munster.
That's
and I was like, that is so specific. Why is there somebody dressed up like Grandpa
You're
Munster?
like, I'm in. He's in too.
And he was hanging out with these beautiful Middle Eastern girls who were there on a birthday party. And he was just with them. I was like, all right, I guess he's with them. And there was this one DJ warming things up. There was a dudes in NASA spacesuits shuffling. There was brown paper bags. There was jerseys. Wow. It was 90s. And then the opening DJ is like, all right, I'm going to cut out for a sec. And we see these ring girls come up with cards and they all have a letter on them. And I'm reading it slowly. And I'm like, does that say? It's DJ Jazzy Jeff. I'm like, no way. And it's a day party. He comes out and for 2 straight hours, it was the greatest party of my life.
Wow.
I was
Dude,
I can't,
I'm so
I was
jealous.
dude, I was 5 feet away. We went up to the table to fist bump.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's so sick, dude. That begs the question, when are you and I going back to Vegas, Bob?
Dude, when we went for your birthday, that was a pretty sick time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to go back before.
That's a birthday that I'll never forget.
Me neither. Oh man, that was, Mind Freak. Dude, we saw a DeLorean. We saw everything.
Dude, yes, we did. We saw Mind Freak from the 3rd row.
That was a phenomenal show. I did not know what to expect.
But we loved it.
We got to go back soon.
I'd love to.
We can't waste too much more time. But hey, once the show's real popular, we'll give us a chance to go.
We'll take the show on the road, dude. So yeah, Viv, thanks so much for the question. There was also one from Brooks, her son, but I couldn't really pick up what he was putting down. So I was like, I'll use Viv. I can hear hers. Yeah.
Fair.
And our final audio question comes from my boy A Tiz at Out the Box in Thornton. So here's this one, Dave.
What it do and what it is, baby. It's your boy A Tiz, owner of Out the Box, the ultimate 90s toy store located in Thornton, Colorado. I want to hit you guys with a quick question. What was your favorite video game console to break out and play during a sleepover?
Ooh.
Not just your favorite one, but the one like, oh, we got to play this one. I got the homies coming over. We're buying pizza. We got a whole pack of Capri Suns.
Yes.
Like, what console and what game was the go-to for sleepovers? And remember, guys, come check out the Box. We're located in Thornton, Colorado. You could buy your toys and collectibles. Shout out to your favorite homie, JR, Davis Media, the podcast Hangin' with the Homie. And remember, we're not here for a long time, baby. We're here for a good time. Let's go.
Go.
Cheer.
Yo,
Let's go,
fire
dude.
delivery. Absolute.
I am hyped
heat.
right now.
Absolute. Way to save that one for the end.
Yeah.
Easy answer.
I know what your answer is, and I'm confident you know what mine is.
All right. Yours is definitely a wrestling game.
The question is, like, which specific one?
On the N64.
Yep. Bingo.
Mine's the N64, and it's GoldenEye.
I knew it. Yeah.
It's multiplayer GoldenEye. Things would get heated over that game. It just never ended.
Yeah. Man.
I want to say WWF Warzone.
Warzone, no. It's No Mercy.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, man.
No Mercy is the one, because that's when they started to like pump out WrestleMania 2000, WCW World Tour, WCW NWO Revenge, which was a banger of a game.
That ended up being my most played wrestling game was WCW NWO.
So good, dude. And they were all made by like the same, you know what I mean?
Graphics will never be better, bro. You can't tell me otherwise.
1998.
Graphics will never be better.
This is real life.
This is I mean, look at it now, it's just trash.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely No Mercy on the N64. Same console for us. Like, the N64 is just, like, all time, dude. Like, it's holy grail.
Greatest Christmas ever. When we got that, we busted it open 3 straight days. Oh, that's all we did.
Yeah, nonstop. Yeah, your Christmas was a little smoother than mine. Mine got
We talked
stolen
about this,
on
bro.
Christmas.
Dude, you got Grinch.
Which is, as Dave likes to say, well documented on this program.
It is.
But that's back in the archives. But yeah, I just wanted to take a second and just shout out Anthony A. Tiz over at Out the Box. Being like a grown man moving to a new city, and I'm sure you can relate. It's tough as like a grown dude to go out there and make friends. You know, you can't be like, hey, you want to be my pal? They're like, get out of here, weirdo.
It's
so
difficult.
Yeah, those guys over at that shop, they've been super kind to me, and we're, becoming friends. And yeah, it's cool to be a part of the, toy collector community out here in Denver, and they're a major part of it. So yeah, thanks a ton for the question.
Yeah, we appreciate this is why we do it. The real people with the real questions who I love when people that we interact with in real life are part of our media, because there's nothing better than that. Then not only are you not explaining it to them, but they get a shout, they get a spotlight.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely, man. And I know you said you had one text question that you got.
And this one's definitely a good one for us. We may have to even carry it over into our next episode. Okay.
What could it be?
So this is from my uncle. Shout out to Uncle Nick. Shout out to Unc. He said, for you and JR, where do you see yourselves 10 years and 20 years out?
Golly, man.
It's a tough one.
I don't know, dude. I'll tell you where I would like to see myself.
In 207, Bob.
Exactly. I'd love to see myself back up in Maine, owning a home, married, kid, and still doing broadcasting or some form of work where I get to talk into one of these hunks of metal. That would be ideal.
I'd like to still be doing this show, whatever form it has become.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, we started it in this format, and it works great. But you and I are good at adapting and knowing that as media changes, we're going to change with it. And
When to pivot.
When we need to, we will, but the core will be us. So doing that, yep, definitely having my own place. Kind of just doing what I've started doing. Have the shop being successful, still doing the collectibles store, which is that's going to open up in October. A real shop, can't believe it. It'll be a shop owner. And then
because you've been very, very vague about this in the past, and now you're kind of throwing it out there like people know what the hell you're talking about.
This is it. The shop, the collectibles store is coming. The name is close to being done. But I've been doing so much eBay flipping and vintage buying and selling that we decided to build a store. It's going to be in Southern Maine. I'll tell you exactly.
This is an exclusive right here, y'all.
Yeah, it's at the end. So if you hung around to the end, you're going to get to hear it.
Yeah.
Southern Maine building is being put together as we speak. It's going to be the newest and the biggest of its kind in Southern Maine, maybe in the whole state.
Wow.
So, yeah, a physical store. The eBay is going to keep rolling along, but we're going all in. Collectible shop owner is who I will be, and that is what I will be doing.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, bro, I'm really
That's
excited.
so cool.
And it's cool that you and Joe are still my boys to this day because you're like ideal customers. So I can learn so much from you guys. What do you look for? Why do you like this toy and not that? Why do you want this card, this comic? It's like my market research is in my phone. It's great.
It's right there, dude.
Yeah.
One call.
Yeah. So, and I can't wait for, I mean, when you come visit, it won't be done or like really super far along, but sooner or later, we're going to be doing a show in the shop.
Yeah. And how cool would it be to be able to do like a live show in the shop and capture it for like an actual studio audience? That would be freaking dope, dude.
And that's going to be the biggest part of the shop besides selling is we're going to have a podcast studio built into the shop. So while people shop, me and Brewster, me and my dad are going to be in there talking cards, collectibles, vintage, paper. We're going to be a media monster, and we're going to have all the new stuff, all the old stuff, whatever you want. We're going to find it.
Dude, I love that. As far as 20 years, gosh, man, that's so hard to even think about. Like, so we'd be pushing 60, right?
Bruh.
50.
We'd be in our 50s.
60. Yeah, we'd be pushing 60. Yeah.
I'm hoping to just still be a beast in the gym. Like, I got to start
Not
now.
me. No, bro.
You're going to be done with that?
I'm letting myself go something fierce, bro.
Oh, man. Well, I'll have a rocking chair for you on the front.
Just make sure the stairs aren't too steep.
Good old JR.
Let me tell you, kids, about back when I was doing. You know, I'd just be sitting there, the chair's like.
All right, but just promise me this. Once you get through all your back surgeries and whatever you got to do, get back to that peak because we need photographic and video evidence that you were an animal again. And once you get there, you can do what you want.
All right. You got yourself a deal, sir. Right. You got yourself a deal. Bring it in. Yeah, dude, this has been great. I love Q&A episodes.
It's the best.
It really is, dude. And think, we're 20 deep right now. You know, nobody is listening still. But we're here and we're 20 episodes deep, like consecutive. That feels pretty damn cool.
And we've identified our core A1 audience members who
Yeah.
give back, send us cool stuff, and y'all are the first listeners. You're going to get to see this thing grow into a beautiful plant or tree or, I don't know, whatever this becomes. It's just going to keep going.
When we get off the air tonight, I'm actually getting on the phone with the lady to book a trip up to P-Town.
Yep. Let's go.
So I got approved for my time.
Yes.
And I'm taking off the 17th through the 21st, so I'll be able to be up there for my birthday.
Dude, marking it down.
And I can't wait for us to cut a couple of shows in person. That's what I'm really looking forward to, bro.
Man, that'll be so much fun. We'll only need one roadcaster. I mean, I love it, dude.
Yeah, it'll just be so cool.
Some
man.
Amados. I mean, come on now. We're going to have it all set up for you.
Couple fluffernutters, bub. Couple whoopie pies.
Couple brewskis for me.
Couple Red Bulls up there,
maybe Shirley Temple.
Couple cherries in that.
It's been a while.
But anyway, dude, 2-hour difference now for me and Dave with you being back on the East Coast and me on Mountain Time. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thanks again for all the incredible questions. You can listen to the show on the iHeart app, Spotify, Apple, Google, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel at your fave homie JR. Because Dave and I, we need that watch time. If we're ever going to be able to do this show full time, it's going to be because of your help. So, yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been Hanging with Homie. For Dave, I'm JR. Remember, it's cool to be you, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.